Hello, everyone. This is the Reverend, and according to my wife, I am the world's strongest and nerdiest preacher. What are your thoughts? Let's get into the video.
If you say that God is pro-life, you need to be able to explain what that means within the context that you're using it. Because atheists and just evil people in general are going to try to stump you on that because they want to murder babies. And they don't want to feel bad about murdering babies. They don't want to think that it's human. Now, when someone asks you this specific question, because it will happen, when they ask you, well, didn't God murder everyone when it comes to Noah and the ark? You look at them and you teach them about the difference between murder and killing. You see, murder has no justice behind it. Murder is killing without reason. And when God takes a life, he isn't actually killing, he's just causing the location to change. Now, with these people, God's judgment happened and their location changed. If they were a Nephilim, they would remain on the earth as disembodied demonic spirits. But if they were human, or fifth generation or beyond Nephilim, people who had Nephilim in their genealogy but were considered human because of how much it had diluted, they could go to heaven or hell depending on God's mercy and judgment within those things. If it was a child, automatic heaven. If it was a person who was following the way they needed to follow, then they would have went to heaven. But other than children, there was probably virtually no one who went to heaven that died in the flood. The scripture teaches that the world had become corrupt and evil. Now, let's get a little more into this. They'll also bring in things like when God had the people of Israel kill various tribes. And again, this is the difference between judgment and murder. God judged these people to be evil, and he said, hey, this is your judgment. This is a problem that atheists have, because atheists will say, well, why doesn't God stop evil? But when he does, they say, well, God's evil for killing those people. They want it both ways, and they do this intentionally because they just don't want God. That's all this is. They don't want God in their life. They don't want God telling them what to do, making them feel bad for doing the evil that they do. And quite frankly, for an atheist, heaven would be hell. Hell for an atheist or someone who does not want a relationship with God. Heaven would be the worst place for them to go because they would be in more torture than they would be in hell. Because they don't want to be around God. They don't want to follow God. They don't want to stop sinning. And another thing they're going to bring up, and I know this is going beyond the abortion thing, but I'm following the same rabbit hole right now that these people will make you follow. Because if you answer their questions and say, well, you're missing a major difference here between innocent blood and guilty blood. A child is always innocent. And the people that God took care of and judged were not innocent. Once you destroy their point, they're going to start going down this rabbit hole. And they're going to start talking about different things. They're going to talk about how, you're punished infinitely for a finite sin. But the fact is, there's no place in the Bible that says we stop sinning after we go to hell. It's completely possible that you continue to sin after going to hell. And there's nothing in Scripture that says that the punishments in hell are the same. Absolutely nothing. They are stated to be different. In fact, it talks about pedophiles and certain other crimes, stating that they are the worst punishments. Like somebody makes a child stumble, it's better that a millstone be tied around their neck and they be thrown into the sea than the punishment they will get. I mean, it's pretty harsh. And it's good that it's harsh. We should be harsh with pedophiles. They should get the death penalty, not just a few years in jail. You do something like that to a kid, you should be executed. Human traffickers should be executed. Rapists should be executed. Murderers should be executed. Do you see a pattern here? The most violent evil of crimes should end in death. Now, robbery. Nope, shouldn't end in the death penalty. You should get a flogging and be forced to pay restitution of 4 times what you took was worth. And this is something we should bring back indentured servitude for. You should be forced to work for those people until you pay back what you whatchamacallit, what you stole. Now they could have you work in any way they want besides immoral ways. No sex work. But they could have you out working a farm, they could have you working at their business, doing whatever, and their only job is to feed you and give you shelter. You have no freedom until you work off that debt, and that needs to start happening again. Now, this is only for criminals. This is only for thieves and people who do armed robbery, burglary, things like that. You should be forced to work off that debt if you can't pay it off. And if we started doing that, you would see the crimes drastically decrease. And these are answers to some of the rabbit holes that they're going to take you down. And I can't answer all of the rabbit holes in one video. We would be here for 40 or 50 hours rather than just maybe 10 minutes. But just be ready to start answering. And, do your own study. Don't take everything I say for the gospel word of the Lord. I'm human, I can be wrong. Now, I do my best to get everything I say from Scripture, but I can still be wrong. I hope this helped you out a little bit.
Hey everyone, I just want to make sure you know to like, comment, share, subscribe, and make sure the notifications are turned on so that you get all of my upcoming content. As always, I love you all and God bless.